And trying to get it in reverse is just a trick and a half. My ATV is my lifeline here. It's what gets hay where it needs to go. I can transport 6 bales of hay on it, buckets of grain, many things, many heavy things. It's not in the best shape, and that's an understatement. It's dying. We are just keeping it running barely. And we don't have money in our equipment fund for new equipment. Like I said, I cannot do my job, and I'm the only person here doing the work. I can't do my job without that piece of equipment. See, that's another thing. Like, if we have volunteers, I can't really say, well, you know, you got to jiggle the thing 14 times and you got to kick it real hard, and then when it doesn't go into gear, you got to... This thing, I know all of its quirks, but there's 1,000 of them. The ATV is a 1985. I already put a rear end into it because that failed, that blew up. So it's incredibly old. It doesn't start. It doesn't hold a charge. The wheels are in horrible shape. The tires are in horrible shape. They don't hold air. It has to have an external start button on it to start it, which doesn't always start it. I have to actually have it attached, because it doesn't start, to a starting unit that I carry around on the back of it. And funny enough, the starting unit half works. So it's this janky thing that starts most of the time, but not all the time. And it seems that when something fails, it takes a friend with them because something else fails. I'm begging you, if you guys have any, extra equipment that you're not using, an extra ATV, anything, just anything will help. We are really struggling here with inferior equipment. Come on, please. I just charged you up. The 95 Chevy pickup was the first truck that we bought that started the rescue. No, something's living under my hood. No. I just don't want to turn anything on while somebody's home, that's all. The story goes, I went to see 4 horses, and they were in such bad shape that I went out the next day and bought a truck and a trailer. And that was the truck. And then, let's see what's happening. The truck has served us well for 7 years, but it barely runs now. It can't haul anything up a hill. It can't haul horses anymore. It's pretty much done. It's used to go get grain or to go to the dump, and we just don't have that capacity anymore. I could not live without this. Not without the vehicles we have. The Nissan truck I bought for running hay in the wintertime. So it runs hay down the alley to the pastures down at the other end of the property. So I can't ask volunteers to drive in this. Besides not being able to keep air in the tires again, parking brake doesn't work, and even when you park it in gear, it doesn't stay. So it will roll back down the hill. And there's no avoiding having to park it. And that's when it runs and when it starts. Again, it was a cheap farm vehicle that ran for a while and did its job on the farm, and again is just at the end of its life cycle. Unfortunately, this all seems to be happening at once, where I've got, an ATV, my field truck, 2 pup trucks, and it's just a matter of timing that they're all just crapping out at the same time. And I appreciate having them, I've got to admit. But they are starting to fail tremendously. This is all too familiar sight. Again, 2 vehicles that One pup truck is a Daihatsu and one is a Mitsubishi. Both of them are absolutely needed for me to do this job. So one is a dump truck and a lift truck, which allows me, a girl that's not as strong as the average guy, to get hay because it lifts up to get hay out of the hayloft in barn 3, and it also dumps. So it's the poop truck. So we're able to take it down and dump into the main dump truck. That is much needed. I also have a shavings truck that follows it that's not a dump. The front gear in the bearings and the front wheel drive is going out. That's a ton of money. And you've heard them run. They barely run. You know, a couple of those the U of O had for a while, so they've been used and abused. Yeah, they've been rode hard and put up wet. Those are trashed. But again, you know, we have to keep them limping along because they don't have a choice. So it's a lot of twine, string, bubble gum, and duct tape that keeps us going here. And we're getting to the point where it just isn't going to be working anymore. Oh, yeah. How long have I been putting up with all these vehicles? Wow. See, we've been in business almost 8 years. So, a good 6. I mean, some of them were, you know, even though they were used and somewhat abused, were great when I first got them. And now, after years and years of use, so a good 6 years of just banging my head against the wall and cursing here and there and please help. I appeal to anybody who has extra vehicles that you're not using. If you feel so inclined to donate a vehicle to us or purchase a vehicle for us, anything will help. If you'd like to know more about Oregon Horse Rescue, please check out our website at OregonHorseRescue.com. Or you can search for Oregon Horse Rescue on Facebook. Thank you for your time.